Also, just this week, Merck is asking the FDA to consider giving emergency use authorization to an antiviral pill to use as a COVID treatment. Now, as you know, there is no cure for COVID. I know what you've heard on Facebook might tell you differently. There's no cure for COVID. Bizarrely, the right wing in this country has promoted a series of things that really don't even help treat COVID as if they're cures. All this means is that the discussion around COVID treatment gets filled up with a bunch of nonsense very quickly. But if you strip away all the nonsense, what actually is in the arsenal for treating COVID is basically the monoclonal antibody drugs, which do work quite well to keep people out of the hospital and to keep people from dying, if you can get those drugs to people soon after they're infected, before they're sick enough that they need to be hospitalized. We've talked about these monoclonal antibodies on the show a lot. As you know, the monoclonal antibodies do have a big downside. They have to be taken as an infusion, or in some cases as a series of injections, so that means that logistically they're just hard to administer, even though they are effective. Well, this new drug, this new pill from Merck, if the FDA approves it, it's a pill. And it would mean that people with mild to moderate COVID symptoms could literally just take a pill for the same kind of benefit that we're seeing from the monoclonal antibodies, or at least hopefully the same level of benefit. What was tested in clinical trials here was a 5-day course taking several pills a day, and it cut the risk of hospitalization and death by 50% among people with mild to moderate COVID who are at high risk of proceeding to very dangerous COVID. A pill to take for COVID. A vaccine against malaria. Maybe a vaccine for HIV, right? It's been kind of a big week. For all the other things that are wrong in our world right now, scientists and medical researchers are out there like slaying dragon after dragon right now. And we are heading this week into what's about to be a whirlwind of decisions and announcements from the FDA and the CDC on yet further developments. Pfizer is expecting approval of its COVID vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. The White House today put out advice to governors around the country to get ready in all the states to roll out vaccines for kids age 5 to 11, elementary school-aged kids. On Thursday and Friday this week, the FDA's advisory board is going to hear data and make decisions on booster shots for people who got the Moderna COVID vaccine or the Johnson & Johnson COVID vaccine. They're also, interestingly, going to hear data on what happens if people mix and match 2 different brands of vaccines for their boosters. That's all going to happen at the FDA advisory panel this week. All of this is going to come soon. And yes, the people who have decided that science is scary and curing things is an evil liberal plot, those folks will continue to be weird about all of it, absolutely. But